What's up, 12-inch action figure fans? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we have another fun one for you. From our Rapid Deployment Force collection, we bring you Sky Raider. Let's bring this guy in. All the way from 1992. Another super cool Rapid Deployment Force figure from M.I.B products. Very cool. We said we would be bringing you more of these beautiful Rapid Deployment Force figures. We bought a ton of them, and we wanted to review another one. We got so much positive feedback on the first two Rapid Deployment Force figures that we wanted to continue it. Public demand, guys. This figure is, once again, these figures are made beautifully, and not to have had, the articulation and all of that stuff that goes into making a deluxe action figure. These figures were really basic in design, but for the most part, what they lacked in design, they made up for with charm. A lot of really cool colors and outlandish, weapons and uniforms and outfits. And the Sky Raider is really an example and testament to that charm. This is from a from a time period back in the early 90s where, and we talked about this, where it was really cool to be a 12-inch action figure collector, because there's a lot of companies out at the time, like M.I.B products, that were competing with the bigger toy makers for the 12-inch action market, action figure market. And these, surprisingly, we did some research on these figures. These figures weren't that expensive, so they were winning in that department. But popularity, G.I. Joe and Star Wars, those 12-inch figures in the early 90s, and other soldiers of the world, they were just popular. It was hard to compete with those guys. But M.I.B products, they put together a nice action figure line of figures. And the Rapid Deployment Force does not get nearly the attention that it truly deserves. And this is just a beautiful Sky Raider figure. When I saw this figure on eBay, I said, I have to add it to my collection, because it's so cool. Once again, these vibrant, outlandish colors and schemes and, outfits, weapons. And this is his rocket pack there. And here's his helmet up here. More added accessories and weapons. This looks like a Uzi Tech 9. And then he's got knee pads, and he's got these hooks on his, these loops on his legs that you put the rockets on. You set the rockets in there, connected to that. Boots. These crazy hand sculpts. But it worked. It actually worked for this figure. These head sculpts look a lot like the Soldiers of the World type head sculpts. I don't know if there's any tie-in or anything like that. He's got his chest piece on, his big chest piece right here. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Guys, if you just join us, welcome to the M.I.B. Master Museum. This is what we do. We hang out in our museum and we cover a lot of beautiful action figures. And today we're covering the End-Time Products Rapid Deployment Force Sky Raider. And we're just having some fun. This is a cool thing about having a museum and collecting and curating these beautiful artifacts. And I get asked that question a lot. You know, why do you call them artifacts? Well, you know what? You're looking at a figure from 1992, box included, mint in box, or as close to mint as you're going to get from 1992 in this condition. With these boxes being made like this, you have to consider these things artifacts at this point. You know, these figures are nearing 30 years of age. Some of these figures are, and at some point they stop being an action figure in a sense, especially if you're talking about museum pieces, and become a museum piece. I mean, a lot of people say, well, you know, they've never heard of the Rapid Deployment Force figure line, and I was one of those people. You know, a good friend of mine, the owner of the Skulls Review YouTube channel, action figure collection channel on YouTube, basically introduced me to this figure line by doing a review on one of the figures. And I said, I've never seen that figure before. So we researched and we did more research, and then you come across all these beautiful figures. Let's turn this guy around. Guys, what do you think of the Sky Raider figure? Do you have this figure? Are you looking for this guy? Truth be told, guys, these guys are getting harder, more difficult to find, especially in this condition. Here you have the Airborne Ranger. Here's our Sky Raider. Look at all the stuff he comes with. Let's get you. They're getting more difficult to find, though. There's our skull figure, one of my favorite ones of this. We call this the crown jewel of the figure line. And here's our scuba guy. Let's get you a year. End-Time Products, 1992. Like I said, these guys are getting very difficult to really locate in this type of condition. And a lot of that has to do with popularity, rarity, the fact that these figures were not made to be collectibles. I believe they retailed at about $9, something like that, almost $10, $9.99, $10, something like that. So these guys weren't meant to be kept in their box for nearly 30 years. So this was a quick, easy, affordable toy for parents, hardworking parents that didn't have a lot of money to really stretch on a toy budget to buy their kids something cool while going to Toys R Us or, you know, wherever, you know, or Walmart, wherever they were at during that time period. These figures were being sold at, and it was just very cheaply made in a sense, because you look at the box, it's not really durable. So to find these guys like this, and I've been on eBay and Amazon, and I've been really combing the internet for more of these beautiful figures in this condition, because we want them in, you know, as close to C8 to C10 museum quality condition, and we can get them because we're a museum. So we want to keep these artifacts as close to original as we possibly can, so people can kind of enjoy seeing something from 1992. You know, I had a subscriber tell me, said, man, I wasn't even born in 1992. You know, I was born in 1995, and that, which just, it sounds crazy to me, you know, but 1990, you know, this guy was born in 1995. So 3 years after this particular figure came out. So it's just crazy, you know, when you hear stuff like that. And, you know, I don't look at this figure as being old, but then I guess you know, when I hear stuff like that, I say, oh yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm really old. I'm really old, and this figure is very old. So you appreciate the condition of these figures even more so, and it's really cool. And that's what the subscriber wanted to tell me, that, you know, basically he thought this is really cool, finding a channel like mine that keeps these figures as close to original as I possibly can, to see them in this original state, the box art, the figures, how they were set up inside the box. And that's really cool to hear, you know, because, you know, we catch a lot of heat for people that just want you to rip the box open and do a review on it. They don't care that the figure is nearly 30 years old, that the box is 30 years old. They just want you to take it out and display it and show it like that. So to each his own. But that was really cool to hear. Guys, we got more fun coming for you. More fun with the Rapid Deployment Force figure line down the road. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.